Some people love them, other people hate them, but in this video, I'm gonna show you how to get your Crocs nice and clean. So the first thing I like to do is remove the Jibbitz or charms from the Crocs we're about to clean. Now to do this, I like to just put my hand in the Croc and kind of push from the backside. That way they kind of peel out a little bit easier. What happens with these, if you pull too hard on the charm itself, sometimes you can actually rip them off and just completely ruin them. So push them off, remove them. I feel like this guy kind of looks familiar. And then once I got them all off, what I like to do is spray them down with some Dawn Power Wash, give them a quick scrub with my gloves, and then just put them in a little container with some warm water and let them soak while we clean the rest of the Crocs. Now there are a variety of ways out there to get your Crocs clean. You can throw them in the washing machine with some old towels. You can even put them in the dishwasher, even though I don't love putting shoes in the dishwasher. Plus with the heat setting, you could shrink them and then you ruined your Crocs. In my experience, the best way to get them clean is to wash them by hand. Now I actually tested all these methods side by side with hand washing. I have links down in the description below for those videos. Definitely check those out if you're curious. Now the other thing I like to mention about hand washing that I really like is that it's fast. It only takes about 10 minutes to wash these by hands compared to throwing them in the washing machine or the dishwasher. You have to wait at least an hour for that entire wash cycle to be complete. So when it comes to hand washing, the first thing I like to do is just grab a bin here with some warm water, and I just threw a little bit of Dawn dish soap in there. We're gonna soak these in the water for a couple seconds. Just kind of let that do its thing. Now, when it comes to cleaner, my go-to for these is Dawn Power Wash. This does an amazing job to completely remove the dirt from the surface. After I let them soak here, we're gonna spray these down with Power Wash, and then I come through with just my little vegetable scrubber here. This thing works great. You can get this at the dollar store for a $1.25 or something like that. But this works awesome, especially on the bottoms here, to get in all the kind of grooves and things on the sole. Now you'll notice here that these are Crocs with the fur lining here. Stick around, I'm gonna show you the best way to get these clean. It's a little different than this method. There is some similarities there, but I do clean the insides a little bit different. Now when it comes to scrubbing these, I like to focus kind of on the soles first, just because that's an area that's usually the dirtiest here. And now I didn't spray any of the Power Wash on yet. And as you can see, the Dawn already is really just starting to cut through that. The bubbles will go away. So we'll just give these a quick scrub. Now I gotta say, the one downside with using this vegetable brush and cleaning the soles, because there are all these bumps and ridges, you will get yourself a little splashback once in a while. So wear your favorite cleaning shirt for this job. You can see kind of on the edge here, there's all those kind of bumps and grooves. And again, the vegetable brush just does an awesome job to kind of get in there and get that nice and clean. So once I have them kind of to this point where I feel like they're looking pretty good, now you can usually get them pretty much almost clean with just the Dawn here. But I like to come through with the Power Wash. I just feel like it just kind of cuts through any remaining grime that might be on the Crocs themselves. This also just is a great thing to do if you're going to donate them. These are obviously my daughter's here, and she likes to grow out of her shoes pretty quickly lately. And so I like to just give these a quick wash like this. That way they're nice and clean for the next owner. You can actually already see right here, the Dawn's kind of cutting through the grime on the heel. Now the other thing I like to use for this is either a toothbrush like so you can kind of, get up in the little areas where your toes are, because that can get a little funky sometimes. The other tool that I just got that I've really been liking is this little Rubbermaid hand scrubber thing. This has been coming in really handy. It's a little loud, but here, I'll show you. Noah and I have had much discussion whether this tool oscillates or spins, and we couldn't figure it out, but then we used slow motion replay on our phone, and we figured out that it oscillates. So it doesn't necessarily spin like a drill brush spinning tool, but it just goes back and forth really quick and does a pretty good job scrubbing. Let's try this. I can't believe that worked. Okay, so once everything is nice and scrubbed, we're gonna take this here and just put it in the water just to kind of give it a quick rinse. Now I will give it a full rinse in the sink with just some fresh water, but I like to do this first to kind of see what the shoe is looking like and to make sure I kind of got all the areas. It's looking decent, but you'll notice there is a little bit of kind of dirt and things around these edges here. So I'm just gonna give this a quick scrub here still again, and then I'll just add any Dawn Power Wash if I need it. Actually, I might throw some right here. Just a little bit on the sole there. Give it one more good scrub and then a rinse. All right, so as you can see here, the shoe is looking pretty good, much better than where we started. Now, there are a few areas sometimes kind of along the front end of the shoe that kind of get scuffed up and things, and some marks won't come off. And for this, I like to use just a melamine sponge, like a magic eraser or an eraser daddy from Scrub Daddy. These work amazing. Just get them wet here, and then I'll just come through like here. Notice this area here kind of didn't come clean with the soap. So we'll just give this a quick scrub with the melamine sponge. That should all go completely away. And as you can see there, that looks way better. So then I'll just kind of take this in a few of those problem areas and just give it a quick scrub. So once you're done giving them a quick rinse, I just like to dry them off with a towel because my daughter likes to wear her Crocs instantly. But as you can see here, this one cleaned up amazing. This one we still got to do yet, but what a world of difference here. And this only took me probably about 3 minutes to do. So add another 3 minutes for this one, and they're nice and clean in less than 10 minutes. Now, when it comes to cleaning the Crocs with the fur lining here, I do like to do it a little bit different. The first thing I do is take these outside and give them a good bang together to try to remove as much of any dry soil that might be caught in the fur. For this, you can even use a vacuum if you can fit it in there, but we want to get rid of as much of the dry dirt before we get them wet. For the outside of these Crocs, I clean them the exact same way as I did the other ones, just with a little Dawn power wash. But when it comes to the fur liner and soaking them, rather than using the Dawn dish soap, what I like to use is a laundry detergent. For these, I just like the Tide Free and Gentle, because it's strong enough to get them clean, but then it's delicate enough where it's not gonna damage the actual fur itself. So to do this, what I do here is just grab some warm water in a bin like this, and then I'm just gonna add about a tablespoon here into the water and kind of just mix that in like so. And then we're just gonna drop the Crocs in the water like we did the other ones. Now, don't be concerned about getting the fur liner wet. It's actually suggested on the Crocs website here. And then once we kind of let these sit in here a little bit, what I'm gonna do is grab, again, either the toothbrush or the electric brush here, and I'm just gonna start scrubbing the inside. Now, once I'm done scrubbing these, I do like to let them soak for 10 minutes, but I gotta be real, keeping these things submerged underwater is such a challenge. Usually my go-to is like a bowl with some water in it. Should weigh it down. Okay, I think I got it. We're gonna leave these for 10 minutes. Hopefully they don't come up. So now that these are done soaking here, what we're gonna do is bring them over to the sink and we're gonna rinse out all the soap from the fur liner. Once they're nice and rinsed, what I like to do is just grab a microfiber towel. You can even grab some newspaper that will help suck the moisture out of the fur liner here. Just kind of stuff this in like so. This is just gonna help them dry out real nice and quick. We're gonna leave the towel in there and then we're gonna clean out the outside here. And then once they're nice and clean, I will say I like to put them by a fan. That way I can force some air in there and get the fur nice and dry. So now that the Crocs are clean, the last step is just to grab the Jibbitz here, give them a quick scrub and rinse so they're nice and clean. And there you have it. Now you know the best way to clean up your Crocs. Thanks so much for watching as always, and I want to give a huge shout out to the Clean Squad over on Patreon. Thanks so much for continuing to support the channel. If you want to learn more about that, check the link down in the description below, and I'll see you on the next clean.